Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Khairani, and today I'm going to talk about discourse and structural grammar. We have 10 points about these materials a lot. The first one is cohesion. Cohesion links the parts of text together, like so they can seem like they are tied together. And without cohesion, the part of the text, the clauses, the phrases, the words even the ones they would seem like disconnected somehow, and it matters because it helps with the unity of the textures, which means uh, the helps to make the words, the phrases, the clauses com- complete and tied together. The next one we have reference. It links uh, it helps to avoid repetition, and it refers to something or someone that what is someone or something is pointing to. So it refers to that. Like for example, we have four types of reference. The first one is anaphoric. Looks it looks back, so it refers to something in the previous. For example, I would say, oh, this book is good. Don't you think it is? So it in the second sentences refers to the book in the first sentence. And then we have cataphoric. It is the opposite of the anaphoric. It looks forward. For example, so don't you know about don't you know what everyone's talking about, that books, which is the title of the book. I said something. So that book, that it refers to the books that I said after that. And then we also have exophoric. It refers to something outside the outside the text. For example, I'm in the discussion with my friend about the book. So what do you think about this book? In order to know what this book, you have to have the knowledge about what books. So the other aspect, like what the books is, you have to see that. And then we have the I forgot homophonic. Refers to something that within our shared knowledge. Hmm, shared knowledge. Maybe if I put it in the example, no, oh no, shared knowledge. It's about cultural knowledge. For example, the first in the U.S. and then all over nations. So the first, what it means by the first, it is what we call cultural knowledge. So we have to know about the culture that we are talking about. And then the third one we have synonym. It is like words that have similar meaning, and yeah, can refer different words that have similar meaning and can be used to refer to the same idea. For example, I would say something like Oculus blocks. Oh yeah. Uh, I'm not one. So example, for example, a book talk about men that are too confident, and we just there's someone says like, I'm not one of those blocks. So blocks and man have similar meaning. It both refer to males, but blocks is somehow informal. It is the informal version of the man. So that's what we call synonym. And then we also have antonym. It is the opposite of the synonym, which is to highlight the contrast, the opposite meaning of a word, to highlight the contrast in the text. For example, the government said that this will drive the woman crazy from away from the Dodge man. They put in the same sentence. So it is to highlight the contrast between woman and man, which is affected by the context that is said in the sentence. And then that's way it is important because it shows us something is not as much as what it is. And then we also have lexical cohesion. So it's about the vocabulary, not just about the grammar. Yeah, the cohesion, as I have mentioned before, it links the something in the text, but it is more about the vocabulary, not just the grammar. So it can lead us to have the structural things. And yeah, that's part of it actually. So we have, when we just not jump into one words to another words, but we use words that somehow have connection, and maybe they are used in the same field, so the reader can understand the context when they see that. And then the sixth one, we have conjunction. It is to links the, yeah, it actually to links ideas to show like the addition, contrast, cause, or time. Let's put it in an example. Let's say that because of the demonstration, the student do the classes online, but many of them finds it inconvenient. So the conjunction is like the because of, and, but. So that makes the sentences or the text more natural. They are, the flow are more natural, so it can make sense to us. That's about the conjunction. Then we have substitution, so we just basically replace word to with another word, and maybe it has the same meaning also. So it is actually the, yeah, but the main, for substitution, the main aim is to avoid repetition and yeah, reduce, then avoid redundancy. For example, I said something like, instead of saying try reading this book, that book is not that good. Instead of saying that, I would say something like, try reading this book, that one is not very good. So I replace the book with that book with that one. Because sometimes when we hear a couple of words, the same words, many same words in a sentence, we would be like confused, or the sentences sounds not fluent, not, and awkward somehow. So we change that to make them more natural and fluent. After the substitution, we have ellipsis, so it's like we're leaving the words that are not, leaving the words or phrases that are not really change the meaning. If we don't say this, the meaning of the sentences or the text won't change, and it won't affect the way we understand it. It happens mostly in conversation, because in written text, especially in academical text, we tend to, yeah, just repeat. We don't really do ellipsis. But in conversation, for example, I said, someone said, "What do you want to say?" And I reply that I'm actually sorry, like instead of saying like, I want to say that I'm actually sorry. So I omit the part the I want to say. So even though I'm not saying that, people would understand what people would understand the conversation smoothly without doubts. Like another example, which which what is your favorite food? And I could, some people in formal way, they would say my favorite food is blah 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 blah. But with ellipsis, we can just say like, oh, what is your favorite food? Oh, meatball, for example. So they can understand it, right? And that is the eighth one. Then we have coherence. So if cohesion is links between within the text, cohesion is the overall sense. It's like not only about the elements in the text, it also connects to the social knowledge, yeah, social context within what we are talking about. Yeah, so a text can be cohesive, but it cannot be coherent if the ideas is don't logically fit. Maybe we have a text that consists of three paragraphs, but in the first paragraph it is cohesive because they talk about the same things, but the topic change in the second paragraph. So the paragraph might be cohesive on their own, independent, but the text overall is not coherent. And the last one we have collocation. So it's like the pair of words that often occur together. It's not random words, but it's like the native like language use. For example, fresh fruit. We say fresh fruit like collocation. It is we usually say that even though there's no exact rules about that. We don't say something like fresh real estate agent because that one makes sense. And also, yeah, we often say something like ripped jeans, blue jeans, and something because they are we pair together naturally in the native. That's all about the collocation. I think, yeah, that's the end of my reading reports. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.